even have my notebook in here today, you guys. That's how you know this video is going to be hot. I'm coming in unscripted, off the book, just ranting and raving about skincare myths and misconceptions that are holding you guys back. Number one, if I see one more 20-something pop up on TikTok, Instagram, trying to convince everybody that a particular cream, serum, eye cream is a holy grail must-have for smooth glass skin, to diminish pores, to erase wrinkles, to tighten, to snatch, all while wearing a filter. Whew! Drives me berserk. Drives me berserk. It's really sneaky. You have to slow the videos down, zoom in, and then all of a sudden you see it bouncing, glitching, and twitching like a mosquito in a bug zapper. It's unfortunate because people are led to believe that a given product is going to yield results based on the person that they are looking at, which by itself, regardless of the filters, you gotta stop believing that. You have to stop believing that skincare products that someone is using equal, oh, I'm gonna look like that. And I know a lot of you guys don't really feel that way, but subconsciously it does kind of rope us into buying and trying things when we see someone that is attractive. And it's interesting to me because you guys know I work with brands. They always provide you with a document before you start making your content. These documents almost always, I would say 99.99999% of the time, at least the brands that I work with, they have a section of do's and don'ts. And without a doubt on the don'ts, do not use a filter. If you use a filter and you submit content to us to approve, we will reject your video. We will not accept it. And you'll have to film the whole thing over, which is not what anybody wants to do. But the second thing is the pretty face effect. Attractive people, pretty, perfect lighting. It really is what sucks people in. And this misconception, this idea that people who look attractive are healthier, have better skin, and know what they're talking about, it could not be further from the truth. Not only in skincare, but in health and wellness, you hear a lot of people who claim they don't want to trust a certain doctor because they're overweight or they are not necessarily the most attractive. That is the dumbest thing ever, because somebody who has dedicated their life to serving others may be negligent on taking care of themselves. It by no means means that they don't know what they're talking about. Using the same products that these people claim to use does not mean that your skin is going to look like theirs, if that even is their skin in the first place. The third thing that I'm seeing a lot that I think is so wild, it's not only skincare products per se, but a lot of times it'll be devices or certain wellness practices, face yoga, gua sha. You will see these gals claiming up and down all around town, look at this picture of me 10 years ago. I am de-aging, I'm anti-aging as we speak. Look how much younger I look compared to this photo. And people just eat this up. People just eat this up, and at face value you're like, oh yes. And I don't know if it's just me, and I don't mean to be rude, but you actually don't look younger. What it looks like to me, and what you actually did here, is take an older picture that wasn't that great of you, okay? Because we all have photos of ourselves that we do not like, that are not the best representation of what we look like. Maybe we were wearing an outfit that didn't flatter our body type, or we were wearing makeup that wasn't quite right, and the lighting was not perfect. Even professional photographs can sometimes not really be the best, right? The quote-unquote before and after, I'm not really seeing true anti-aging. I'm just seeing now you're in better lighting and you have your hair pulled back and you've got a freshly moisturized face. Whereas in the other photograph, you were wearing some sort of corporate outfit that wasn't necessarily complimentary to your body type. Maybe you had your hair down in that one and now it's up, so it really allows for better definition of your jawline. I mean, all of these little things, and it's like they always show the same before photograph. It's like in their handbook. Find a crummy picture of you in college, maybe after a night of heavy drinking where your face is a little swollen, you got under eye bags, you haven't slept, you've been cramming for finals. Fast forward now, and then everybody will be convinced that you have anti-aged yourself, when that could not be further from the truth. This happens a lot. I see it a lot. People claiming that, you know, they're de-aging, anti-aging. Sure, you can change up your lifestyle habits. Good thing to encourage healthier diet, exercise, not drinking alcohol, especially in excess. all these things can pay off dividends in the way that you look. That's not really what they're talking about in these cases. They're really just taking an old crummy photo, maybe on a day that they were not feeling or looking their best, and fast forward 10 years, they want you to believe that they look younger than they did back then. Okay, Jan. Here's another one that I still get a lot is I'm surprised that you're a dermatologist and you don't use medical grade skincare. Huh? Are we still believing that medical grade skincare is a thing? I saw a comment actually on a recent Instagram reel where I was sharing some of my sunscreen empties and somebody was like, I'm surprised you're not using medical grade products. Huh? Sunscreen is the definition of a medical grade product. In the United States, at least, it is an over-the-counter medication intended to protect against a sunburn. So this whole medical grade nonsense, that is just marketing. That is just marketing, and it doesn't speak to the efficacy, the established science behind any given product. It is just a type of marketing. Medical grade does not hold up. It's not a regulated term. It's just something they slap on there, and then all of a sudden the price point goes up, and you think it's going to do something more than a more affordable option. Not true. Now, don't get me wrong. There are expensive products out there that are nice and maybe you're more inclined to use them. And maybe they truly are very effective. But to just say products that have this label are an assurance that it works, it's effective, and anything other than that is just, garbage and not going to do the trick. It is welcome to Dr. Dray 101. Medical grade skincare is just a bunch of marketing mumbo jumbo. There is such a thing as medical grade silicone. There's such a thing as like medical grade LED lasers. Silicone scar gels and scar sheets, for example, use medical grade silicone. It's a purity of silicone that is allowed to be used for medical purposes, such as treating a scar, as opposed to like machine grade, something that you would use to lubricate a machine. So yeah, there's a difference there and it makes sense, but the products that claim to be medical grade, that's not what they're not roping you in there. A face moisturizer is not a medical grade, this, that, or the other, okay? So don't fall for that. And if anything, drugstore brands tend to have the most R&D behind their products. Like the big guys, L'Oreal, Johnson & Johnson, and honestly, the medical grade stuff, it is owned by the same corporate conglomerates that own the drugstore brands. The same level of R&D is going into both products. It's just their way of marketing to different demographics. Don't fall for the medical grade nonsense. It's just keeping you chasing rainbows there. It is. Final thing, this belief that there's going to be a dietary supplement out there that's going to make you look good. Dietary supplements, they're not regulated. And people are like, we don't care, we hate the FDA. When I say they're not regulated, there's not the kind of oversight to guarantee that they have ingredients that are purified of contaminants. There's not that oversight on how the product is formulated alongside other things that might interact. And there's no oversight on disclosure for adverse effects that can happen. And this is where people get misled because they don't want quote unquote pharmaceuticals because they have all these side effects and they perceive that supplements are a safer alternative. Supplements have side effects. They're just not disclosed to you. For example, there is a popular brand right now that I cannot escape their ads. I'm still too cheap to buy YouTube Premium where you don't have the ads. But let me tell you, I'm about to hit yes on that little, because they're constantly trying to rope me into that. I'm about to hit yes because this commercial is getting on my last nerve, and try as I might, I skip it. I'm trying to train YouTube to stop showing me this ad because I cannot stand it. And it's all over social media. It's this company, and they fearmonger acne treatments as like toxic or whatever. They're selling a supplement that has an ungodly high amount of vitamin A in it. And people are like, oh, vitamin A is natural. It's a natural way to get to the ICU and liver failure, taking it unnecessarily. In the same breath, they will suggest that, something like isotretinoin and Accutane is a toxic medication, but they're using vitamin A. Now, it's interesting because people would just think, oh, vitamin A is natural, it's going to be safer. Vitamin A at high doses, it's a fat-soluble vitamin, it's stored in the body. It has the exact same side effects as Accutane. Dry skin, you can get telogen effluvium, hair loss of night vision, dry dry eyes. I mean, the worst side effects that we don't really see that often on isotretinoin because, hello, we're monitoring for that. We're dosing appropriately. The problem with vitamin A is it's stored in the body. And supplemental vitamin A has a much longer half-life than isotretinoin. So isotretinoin has a half-life of approximately 24 hours, whereas supplementing with vitamin A, half-life of 12 days. So it takes a lot longer to get out of the system once you stop. It accumulates and it takes longer to clear it out of your body. Just like isotretinoin Accutane is a teratogen, meaning you cannot be on it and get pregnant. It will cause severe birth defects. Same issue with supplementing with vitamin A. If you've ever taken isotretinoin and you're a woman, they will tell you that you need to continue either abstinence or some forms of birth control for a month after stopping. They don't tell you that with this supplement. It's a month for isotretinoin because the half-life is decently short, right? Supplemental vitamin A, much longer half-life, but they don't throw in the point that if you're contemplating conception, you should stop, you should hold off for however many months. They just say, oh, talk to your doctor about it, which is ironic, right? Because in the same breath, they demonize physician treatments, but they also want you to talk to your doctor about their supplement. Wild. Here's a big thing with supplements too, that people need to wake up to the fact. Not only are there side effects that definitely happen, they're just not disclosed to you. They're just not disclosed to you on the label like a pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical ads that we have here that run towards the end of the video, they play a long listing of all of these potential adverse effects. They're required to do that. Supplements are not required to do that. But here's the other issue with supplements in contrast to pharmaceuticals. There's no accountability. There is zero accountability. If you're put on isotretinoin, your doctor who prescribes that to you, Accutane, your doctor who prescribes that to you, they're going to check blood work, they're going to have you come back, they're going to monitor you, and they're going to make sure they're on a safe dose. They're going to check your blood, see if things are kind of getting a little shaky, and maybe they should adjust the dose, lower it, keep monitoring you, make sure things stabilize, and they're going to tell you up front before starting the medication. This is a medication, these are the possible side effects to look out for. With regards to the accountability, with a prescription, you have that doctor. If something bad happens to you and they've been negligent, they can lose their license for that, right? You can sue them. Here in the States, very litigious. You will get sued for that kind of thing. And if the patient can prove negligence, that's not something any physician wants to. And not to mention, contrary to popular belief, doctors do not go into medicine to make a bunch of money. It's not the way to make money. People do it because they genuinely want to help people. Yes, doctors can become burnout, jaded, cynical. Not saying that doesn't happen, but doctors do not go into medicine for quote unquote the money because it's just a dumb thing to do. Or, oh, your other doctor wants to start this antibiotic, right? Or wants to start this medication. Let's go make sure, check. Oh, wait, there's an interaction. There's an interaction. We got to stop. We got to stop this so you can take the other medication safely. Or we're going to alert the other doctor, hey, we got this on. Or the other doctor is looking too. They're going, oh, I see you're on this medication. Okay, well, we're going to have to reconsider. And the accountability is in your face, right? You're going in there, you're getting your blood checked. And that scares a lot of people. Like, this is a really toxic, intense thing. But the point I'm trying to drive home here is being in the dark with supplements, it is a risky endeavor. A lot of people are having serious adverse effects. All that to say, there's not that accountability of somebody checking you for these things. So to just go with supplements, it's there are a lot out there. Now, I have a ton of videos on my channel about my thoughts on different supplements, collagen supplements, hyaluronic acid supplements, ceramide supplements, DIM, alpha lipoic acid. I'll put all my supplement videos down below because I talk about the pluses and minuses. Because some supplements, if there's a deficiency, a supplement can be not only helpful but indicated. And there are certain supplements in certain scenarios where they do make a difference and they definitely can help. However, that's another big unknown. People just see supplement and they assume it's going to be good for them. And that's the problem with supplements, is that because they are there to make money, they're going to convince people that at baseline, they're for everyone, that supplements are safe and natural and just they're there to supplement. When in reality, supplements, the actives in supplements, they do act like drugs. They do act like drugs. And just like you wouldn't prescribe methotrexate to just anybody for the heck of it, methotrexate is a drug that is a game changer for a lot of skin problems like psoriasis. It's a game changer for treating cancers, but you wouldn't just give it out to people for the heck of it, saying skin benefit. The dots, they don't connect. They're acting like drugs without the oversight, without the disclosures, without the cross-checking for interactions, and without the indications, and without the dosing parameters established a lot of times. Like, why does this particular supplement have such a high amount of vitamin A in it? Anyway, y'all, those are the complaints of the day. I hope this video was entertaining, educational, informative. Let me know in the comments, though, what nonsense on the internet with regards to skincare or just nonsense in general are you sick of seeing? Because there's so much out there, there's so much noise. People really get wrapped up into it, and they really get into these hive minds, and it's like, whew, we all need to take a step back and really not let these apps control our spending and the way that we feel about ourselves. All right, y'all, that's a wrap up. If you guys enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.